If you watched my last video and you got excited about the prospect of adding ghostwriting to your repertoire in 2025, well, this video is a follow-up for you. I'm going to be talking about once you interact with someone and they want to know more about your services, what you're going to do. And I'm going to be talking about the initial contact, and we're going to go pretty in depth in this quick little video. So if this sounds of interest to you, go ahead and press like, hit subscribe to this channel, and also at the end, if you really like this video, go ahead and share it to someone in your network because maybe it could help them out. So I'll go ahead and give you a second to do that, and I'll look over my notes. All right, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. So let me tell you who I am. I'm Lynette Renee Dobie, an Amazon best-selling ghostwriter, and my aim is to help writers and be the voice that I wish I would have had when I first started writing, because I did this all on my own and I learned by trial and error. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So when someone meets with you or someone engages with you and they say that they would like to work with you on their book project, I know you will be excited, but I want you to also think about this critically, because a lot of people get so excited about their books. I'm excited about it right now, talking about it, but they don't think about the concrete details that you, the thought leader and the expert in the conversation, will bring to their attention. So if you connect with someone on LinkedIn and they're like, hey, I want to meet with you, automatically you should be thinking, okay, it's time for us to get into a consultation. Maybe it's a 15 to 20 minute one, because it does not take long. And within that consultation, I'm going to give you the steps or some things that you should really pay attention to ensure that you and your client stay on the same page. What's so important about these consultations is that they are just a vibe check. The biggest mistake I see emerging ghostwriters do is that they want to get into the nitty-gritty details about the content of the client's potential project or story or manuscript. That's not really a good place to start, because I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you don't have them on a non-disclosure agreement. So you don't want to go deep into the details. What you're doing again in this consultation is to see if they are a vibe for you, if their project is a vibe for you, and also to see how the two of you interact. So I want to be very clear on that, okay? So think of your consultation as understanding what the client's intention is for doing this project and just their expectations overall in terms of working with you and also getting this project to completion. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and go over the 5 questions that I think you should ask in every single consultation that you have with an initial potential client. Number 1, what type of book do they want to write? So a lot of times when people want to write a book, they just know they want to write about something. But within that wanting to write about something, we need to know if it's going to be a nonfiction book or a fiction book. And as a quick reminder, nonfiction is going to be their ideology. It's going to be factual information. It's not going to be anything made up like fiction would be. Fiction has a lot of characters. It has a lot of background, and it's made up, and it's in sometimes unrealistic circumstances. And that's what fiction is. But you need to ascertain which one they want to write, or will it be a hybrid? Sometimes people want to do thought leadership books and it has a little bit of storytelling elements in it. That's predominantly what I write. But you need to make sure that your client knows what they want so you can help them get what they want. Number 2, when do they want to write it? Y'all, I can tell you I have been contacted about 50% of the people who want to get on a call with me. I pre-qualify them and I find out that they want to write a book 3 or 4 years in the future. I think that that's great for them, but I'm not the ghostwriter for them, because I write with a strict schedule. I don't spend any more than a year on a project. Sometimes the project requires that because it's so in-depth. It's the subject matter, research, and things like that. But if they say they want to write a book 4 years down the line, I'm not the ghostwriter for them. So you definitely want to make sure that their timeline is in accordance with your schedule, and also it's aligned with your operational process in creating manuscripts and books. Next, why do they want to write this particular project now? I'll say that again. Why do they want to write this particular project now? Is it because they want it to advance their career like a lot of my clients want? Is it because they're offering a new branch of their brand, they want more visibility, but you've got to have them articulate it to you so you can understand essentially their why. Because when this process does get a little bit sticky, because it is a little challenging, you'll want to revisit that with them and say, hey, you know what? You got to get me your notes back on the section I just turned into you, because you want to get to that deadline because you said you want to do X, Y, and Z. That's what I always do. I always use their words and remind them of it. You wanted to do this because you wanted to hit the stages in Q1 of next year. You wanted to do speaking engagements in Q2. You wanted to do workshops. So definitely understand why right now this book is important for them to write. Next, who is the book for? This is very important. So the reader or their target audience is very important for the client to understand, because I've met with people and they're like, oh, my book's for everyone. Nothing is for everyone. It isn't. So you want to know that they know who the book is for and how they will reach them. Because if it's for everyone, it ends up being for no one. How will this project, this is the last question, how will this project impact the reader? And more importantly, how will it impact the author? So in terms of the last topic that we just discussed, who it's for, you also want to know how you want it to impact them. After reading this book, will they have a new look on life? After reading this book, will they become an entrepreneur? What is the end goal? Because when you intend it to be so, it comes out in the writing. So you want to make sure you get a verbalization from your client about what they want the reader to get at the end of reading their book. Next, what do they want? We mentioned it briefly before. Do they want to expand their brand? Do they want to increase the sales for their company? See, I'm a business ghostwriter, so I always think about it in terms of business, but your client may have another why. They may want to impress their children. They may want it to be legacy for them. So it's really important that you have them nailed down their why and how it will impact their reader, and then all of that will kind of give you a very clear picture of why you're both working on this project. Next, I would advise you to use your discernment when you're meeting with your client for the first time. You can tell when someone is scattered and all over the place. Hey, I'm a professional writer, and I have to make sure that my thoughts are linear, because that's why I'm always looking at notes, because I can be off on a tangent. There's a difference between that and someone who's just like, you know what? Oh, I think a book, I want to go to Tahiti and work on the book for 3 months. Would you come with me? I've heard some outrageous things. You want to make sure that they're grounded in the reality of what this project is and what it's not. Because you will need to have some synergy with this person, because you're going to be working with them for a pretty good amount of time. And when you're getting those details from people, it's a very personal thing. So you want to make sure that this person vibes well with you. So that's where the discernment comes into play. And also how they articulate the project. I can't stress this enough. How they articulate it and their knowledge of it, because if they don't know, you can't know. I've had people say, well, I was thinking you could tell me. No, you got to help me help you. No, it's a co-collaborative process. So you want to make sure that you two are in optimal alignment. So this video was short and sweet, because in the next video that I do, I'm going to talk about what the next step is after this consultation. I'm going to talk about it in both ways. Either it's a positive consultation or a not so positive. I'm going to tell you what to do in both regards. So thank you so much for watching this video. I was so excited to do it for you, as I always am. And if you found some resonance in it, definitely like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who it might help. And if you want to take the conversation further with me and you want to talk more about you becoming a ghostwriter, then definitely go to www.rightwayconsulting.net and send me an inquiry form, and then we can chat for 15 minutes in a consultation. All right, thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next upload. Bye.